this get made?
Fake mustaches, short shorts, and underage sex. It's not a porno. We saw Sleepaway Camp, so you know what that means.
Now it's time for How Did This Get Made? We're gonna have a good time, celebrate some failure, not just be a hater. Cause you know you wonder, how did this get made? Let's wallow in the mediocrity of subpar art. Perhaps we'll find the answer to the question, how did this get made?
Hello, people of Earth, and welcome to How Did This Get Made? I am joined, as always, by my two co-hosts, June Diane Raphael. How are you, June?
Good, how are you, Paul?
Very good. And Jason Mantzoukas. How are you, Jason?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Very good. It is Halloween week. This is our Halloween episode. A movie that you picked for us. We came to you, we asked you, what is their best Halloween movie? Everyone decidedly picked Sleepaway Camp. All right. I never heard of Sleepaway Camp.
Same. Never heard of it.
Yeah, I never knew it existed, and man, now I am so happy that I know.
This is crazy.
This is one of the most bizarre movies. It kind of feels like The Room at the top. Like, you're kind of like, oh, this is bad acting.
Yeah.
It's not really well shot. But this, just so you know, was a real deal film.
It was?
Yes, it was released. I just want to set it
I
up.
get that it's a real movie, but I mean, like, to me, I took it to be a real amateur production.
Well, I will say this, that when it opened up, it was number one. It grossed a total of $433,000 on the opening weekend, and it it knocked out Amityville Horror in 3D.
Really?
Yeah. So it made like $11 million at the end of the day for a movie that only cost $350,000 to make.
Okay, because that is shocking to me, because this movie is horrible.
I mean, it is. That's why I thought, I was like, oh, this is like a low budget movie that
Yes.
no one should ever see. Like, like Jack Frost, he's killing and chilling.
No,
this is like
it
a
looked
real.
like the camp itself had a class called Let's Make a Movie.
Yes.
And this movie
Is
came
the
out.
result of
Yes, was the final project.
It feels to me it doesn't feel like a low budget horror movie. You know what I mean? Like, in the sense of like, like shitty horror movies that studios like barf out to capitalize on the fact that people. It feels like somebody who's like, well, my dad owns a summer camp. We could probably shoot a movie there. We'll get some cameras. We'll get a bunch of short shorts, and we'll get everybody we know who
We'll
has
also get
terrible
a bunch
Long
of
Island accents.
Crop t-shirts.
Crop
tops.
t-shirts and short
Oh
shorts,
my God.
because we can't afford longer shorts or full t-shirts.
I saw so many outlines of penises in
Holy
this movie.
shit.
It
They're
was
not
outrageous.
even shorts.
No.
They're just like penis holders.
Yes.
I mean, that's all they are.
They're cock baskets.
I was saying that this is the movie why AIDS was invented, because if you were aware, if these shorts were real in the 80s,
Why AIDS was invented?
by the government, but why AIDS came to
leave your politics out of it.
I will not.
Here we go.
I will not. AIDS was invented by the government, and I'm using this podcast finally to get the word out.
Such a roundabout way
all
to
of
get
the
that word
episodes,
out.
all of the episodes until now were just to
leading
get
to
a
this.
big enough audience in order to put this message out.
AIDS was the government's creation. But I feel like if you are wearing shorts that short, of course you're having sex with multiple people and not using protection. That was my point of view.
The movie that between just the overt pedophilia,
That
the
is
overt pedophilia,
favorite part.
the over sexualization of the under 12 set, and the short shorts, I was like, this movie is insanity.
Although I will say that this camp is comprised of 11-year-old campers and 35-year-old
Yes.
Yeah.
campers. Like,
And they all looked like Sarah Silverman. Everyone in the film looks like Sarah Silverman.
She is furious. You just said that. She just tweeted she's angry.
There's literally a 10-minute long baseball scene
Ugh.
where it looks like 8-year-olds
Softball.
playing 30-year-olds,
Yeah.
and the 30-year-olds are so mad at these 8-year-olds.
Well, the thing is,
Everyone is mad in the film.
Yeah.
At all times, everyone is mad. And while watching that baseball scene, they were talking shit, like hard trash talking, and then pitching underhand.
Yeah.
Really
Which is
under.
like-
It was so.
It was just like, and here you go, and like lobbing the ball.
and the 11-year-olds rather are killing. They are crushing. They're always getting the best of the older kids who are, I'm assuming meant to be like 15, 16-year-olds, but are played by 30-year-olds.
But that was a weird runner in the movie because it doesn't ever pay off. or did I miss it?
No,
Like,
the baseball
what is
game
the-
was just the baseball
What is
game.
the point of that baseball
Oh,
game?
I
though?
think it's just to show us the competitiveness between the older kids and the younger kids, and like how the older kids are bullies, basically.
Yeah.
To me, the way I thought of it
Okay.
was the movie ran 75 minutes, and like we need to add a 10-minute long baseball scene just to get this to a theatrical length. Because I mean, the baseball game, like there literally is a scene where someone hits a baseball, and there's a kid in the outfield, and he's playing a video game, like a handheld boxing video game.
Oh, you mean Mozart?
Oh, yeah, wow, you know the kid's name.
is
By the
oh
way,
yeah, the kid's
was
name is
Mozart-
definitely
I did
Mozart.
not
Why
remember
was
that.
he called Mozart? Because we never saw him with any
Because he's a
musical
nerd,
skills.
and-
So
and
he's just a nerd. Okay.
Someone
That
from Long
brainiac.
Island's like, what's a nerd? Mozart.
Mozart.
Writes
I mean-
music, is a nerd.
So basically, the ball is coming at Mozart, who's on his video game, his portable video game device, and then he's like, "Oh no!" drops the video game and then catches the ball.
Yeah.
With it was a lot of tension for no reason.
And you would continue to think that the younger kids are perceived of as nerds and lamos, but they are always hitting home runs, catching all the balls, like they are winning all the time.
But there's also no tension in this baseball game. I don't know when it's going to end, what's at stake. It didn't seem like
There's no score.
there was no score. There was
no, at one point they were like, "What's the score?" And then one kid goes, "I think it's 6-8." And I was like, "What? You think it is?"
That's not the best way to do it. All right, so let's just go back to the beginning. The movie opens up with one of the best scenes. I would say that.
Wait, is it the thing to mom? Because that
Oh.
that said
Wait,
it for
no,
me.
the cold
It's-
open?
No, the cold open.
Cold open.
The boating scene.
Oh God.
This shit
The
is
title at
great.
the beginning, which was in
Oh.
fond memory of mom, a doer.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
yeah, I
like,
forgot
what
about that. The
is
movie
that?
is dedicated to a mom.
Yeah.
And it's not like a mom, like loving woman who
Yeah.
helped me through childhood. It's a doer.
A doer.
Wait a second.
I would
I
never
thought
call my
that
mom
was
that.
just a title card that the person who put this movie on YouTube put up there.
No, I think that's
That's a
actually.
part of the movie?
I'm
of the
assuming it's part of the movie.
Yeah, me too.
Oh.
Although your version of it is
Wow.
also fascinating.
Yeah.
Because for somebody, I want to examine that because somebody's like, "Ooh, I got to upload this bonkers next level crazy horror movie to
a
YouTube,
tribute.
but I got to do it as a tribute to my mom."
Yeah, this is
I
my
do.
mom.
She did stuff.
You know what?
She did.
The person who put up these movies, it's called Sleepaway Camp TV. So I don't think it's a person dedicating things to their mom. I think it is the way the movie opens. I think the person who made this movie, which is even more sick and twisted, is a love letter to his or her mom.
Do you think the
Wow.
mom was based off of his mom?
God.
Because she's
The mom in this
she's
movie
next level.
is
That's
straight up crazo.
So
Angela, isn't there anything special my little girl would care for?
basically, you see the acting in this is not even like bad community theater. It's like bad high school production.
Oh yeah.
no,
And
she
from
was
an
making-
adult.
but no, you
Was
guys.
she making
you
a
guys,
choice?
She was making a choice, and a fine
Yelling.
one at that.
I thought she's talking as if there's no one there.
Because the character is insane. That's
That's
true.
true.
A choice.
It is
the
true.
character has gone insane because in the cold open, which you started to talk about,
Yes.
Paul, in the cold open we see a father and two children on a little sailboat in the middle of the lake.
Having a great day.
across, just
From the
across
camp.
from the sleepaway camp.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, they're having so much fun. And then it cuts to two campers, a man, a counselor boy, and a young girl in a speedboat.
Yes.
With a water skier.
With a water
in
skier.
tow.
The water skier gives one of the best performances
I'm
of the movie.
It's amazing.
The water
Except for
skier
her.
gives an unfathomably good performance in this cold open. Okay, so basically what happens is the sailboat flips over. The kids and the dad are in the water, and they've got to swim to shore.
Well, the sailboat flips over. One of the kids throws the dad out of the sailboat.
Yeah.
And then
Yes.
the
For a
dad
good
calls
time.
them schemers.
Yes,
The dad
you
says,
schemers.
"You schemers," but it's still all in good
By the
fun.
way, by the way, the dad is on the edge of a very small boat, no longer than like 5 feet.
Yeah.
And the kids are able to sneak up behind him without him noticing, and then just lightly tap him into the water. I mean, it's
He
the
goes
most,
flying.
it's the worst scheme ever.
He does like a Chevy Chase fall.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
They are a real couple of schemers.
So then the schemers and the dad are in the water together. The boat flips over. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
so weird.
Don't know why. Then there's another man
Yeah,
on the dock.
Oh,
Right.
that guy's the best.
that is just foreshadowing.
Yes.
Okay, who says Now, this is where I had some questions. He says the doc is on the way.
Yeah.
That doc is on the way.
Doctor.
The doctor.
Doctor's
Doctor.
on the way.
As we established later, the mother is a doctor through the wonderful line of, even though everyone knows I'm a doctor.
Because the mother is
How
giving
else
the
would you
kids
get that info
their
out?
own physical.
Duh.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, then what happens is this...
Oh, I just put that together.
Yes.
That the doctor is the mother.
Yes. The mom when the mother gives the kids their physical.
I get it now. Okay. And he's basically warning the dad because of what we learn later. He's warning it, saying your wife is coming back.
Right. Yes.
Got it.
Now... Oh, you guys, so that was his wife? That was his wife?
No.
Yes.
That was the man.
See?
That was the man on the beach's wife.
Yeah, that was the man on the beach's
And
wife.
those two, as I mean, like
No.
I don't want to give. Yeah,
The
definitely.
man on the boat is their dad.
Right.
Yes.
That is their wife. The man on shore, spoiler alert, is the dad's lover.
No. Okay,
What? Oh, right.
It is the
Yeah.
dad's
Right.
lover.
No, because that's her cousin. That the kids. All right. This is
Okay, let's just break this down without because I
Without
feel like
spoiling the
we're
ending, 'cause we gotta
dancing,
walk
we're
to-
dancing around.
Yeah.
Okay,
we gotta
so
walk to the end.
By the
of
way,
this.
is
someone
my
had to pitch
understanding.
this.
Yeah.
This is my understanding of the movie, okay?
Yes.
Father and son and daughter are in the sailboat.
Yes.
Father's lover, a man, is on the shore.
Yes.
He's saying, hurry back to shore, your wife is coming, the doctor.
Yes.
Your wife is coming. So he's like, oh, we gotta go in. Okay,
That's where it's wrong. This is where.
And that's where you're
That's
wrong.
where
That's where you're wrong.
Really?
That right
Because,
there is where you're wrong.
because the mother that we met, the creepy mom, that's Angela's cousin.
Nope.
Aunt.
Nope.
And.
It's
Aunt.
Angela's,
I thought-
it's Angela's mother.
I thought
No.
Ricky,
Angela's
not.
mother.
Ricky is her cousin.
Ricky is her cousin.
That's what I'm saying. So Ricky is her cousin, so that's her aunt.
No,
Because-
okay,
no,
guys,
because at the
guys,
end-
guys, that's the misdirect. You're missing the misdirect. That's the misdirect. Okay, can we talk about the ending? Okay,
Well,
no?
I guess we have.
Wait a second.
I guess we have.
Wait a second. Wait a second.
This is going
Okay, wait a second. Angela
Yes.
is the daughter
Yeah.
of the crazy woman.
No. Ricky
Ricky.
is the son of the crazy woman.
Right, and then
the gay lover is that woman's husband.
Wait, say that
Oh
again.
my God.
Zach.
No.
Say it again.
No, he's going there. He's going.
I cannot deal with this.
But wait, no,
Okay,
because
okay.
Ricky and Angela.
Then why does she make? Okay.
Okay, here's the reason.
Because she's
It's because-
getting them to live with them.
because she already has Ricky. That's why she's
Yes.
Angela.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Say that again, Zach.
Yes.
Slowly.
No, I'm with this. I'm with
Okay.
that.
Okay. So this is the setup. We have the father and two children on the
Look,
boat.
can we just reveal the ending because I'm getting confused.
Yes.
talking
All
about
right.
it.
All right. Well,
Okay.
basically, all right. So it's so good, and we're pulling it. We're all right.
Okay. Well, we don't. I mean,
I do. Can you? Okay, fine.
I just
Without
think-
explaining
Without
the
explaining the ending,
Yeah, we can come back. Let's come back
give you,
to this.
I can give you a pretty good. Okay,
right.
so we open on two children and their father.
yes.
And without everything else that happens, his gay lover is on the
Sure, yeah.
and his wife is coming.
His gay lover's wife.
The gay lover's wife. The man who's on the shore,
Okay.
his wife is coming to meet them with their child.
I'm gonna say this.
Whoa. Then where is the dad's wife?
It doesn't. It
Doesn't
never.
matter.
Basically,
Doesn't
this is
matter.
Oh, come on.
Wait,
no,
wait,
because
wait.
then the
Let me-
surviving child would go to the mother.
Dead.
They're divorced.
She's dead.
She's dead.
No, they would
It's a
explain
dis-
that. They're going to such lengths
It's
to explain
not her
everything.
mom.
Not
It's
her
not her
mom.
mom. It's
Jason,
definitely not her mom.
She's introduced to her. Unless your theory is this, which I'm going to posit, because it is possible. Okay, here's a possible theory, which is the mother was originally totally normal. Because of if this is their mother, okay, if this is Angela's mother,
Yes.
the doctor, their mother was completely normal until this horrible, horrific accident happened in
Yes.
which her husband and one of her kids was killed.
Correct.
However, the problem with that theory is that we see a scene later on, at the end of the movie,
Yeah.
where one of her children is introduced to her. So she must be so bonkers.
Okay, this is the. Oh my God, guys! So my understanding of the movie is framed like this.
Oh my gosh.
Because of the accident. Okay, fuck.
If you have not watched this movie, you need to stop listening right now.
Stop
watch it and
okay,
come
because
back.
we're now going to talk about the ending,
It's on
right?
YouTube. Just watch
We
the
have to
movie.
watch this.
I mean, we have not even talked about any of the movie yet.
Okay,
I feel
let's
like
table this
understanding of
discussion.
Table
Let's
this
table this
discussion, yes.
discussion.
Yeah, okay.
Because
All right.
my understanding of the movie basically is that the mother has like a psychological breakdown, and with her surviving child makes a decision that provides the insanity that leads to the rest of the movie, and that the little boy is normal visitor. He is the cousin that is taking her to camp.
No, because he
Okay,
calls
so
her he's
that
the normal visitor. Ricky calls him and goes, that's my mom.
Yeah, and
Like he
Oh,
said-
he does,
yeah.
doesn't he?
and also that explanation's if they had a scriptwriter.
Yes.
That's like if it was a good movie.
Although there
Yeah.
is
Well,
a
then
trying-
You're saying,
by the way,
you're
though,
saying
there
that
is-
Angela just happens to go to live with an insane person?
Yes.
It's because it's the only living relative.
The only living relative.
Oh,
Here,
that's
She's
crazy.
not her relative, you guys.
Let's-
She's not her
Guys,
relative.
this is crazy.
But you're
No.
acting like you haven't seen the movie.
No. But there is such
not
an
irrelevant.
easier such an easier explanation that the insanity that happens to Angela is because of the accident.
I hear
I
you.
agree with that.
The accident is
So,
insane,
okay.
and then you're telling me she also then happens to go to live with a
I'm looking
next
at this.
level insane person?
All right, I think what I'm hearing is this: she would have had to go insane not just because her husband and child died, but also because she found out there that the guy that her husband was
I'm
sleeping
finding-
with on the land was so emotionally distraught that his lover died that she then also found out
No.
that her husband was gay.
I
Here we go. It's revealed that Angela survived and is now living with her eccentric aunt, Dr. Martha Thomas, and cousin Ricky Thomas.
Right.
All right.
So there we go.
I didn't even know they had last names.
We have to get into this
Fine.
movie because we can break in. There's so many things to break in before this amazing ending.
Exhausting.
Wait, you guys, I just thought of something else though.
Wait.
Oh, brother. Okay, so the guy on the land and the guy in the boat are lovers, but they might also have been brothers.
No.
No.
Well, there is tons of weird incest
Brothers-in-law.
stuff in this movie.
Brothers-in-law.
How do you know that, though?
Because it's the...
Wait, no, but the lover isn't killed. Like the lover, the male on
Right.
the shore is alive.
We
But he
never
wouldn't
see
get that.
So we never see him again. So he would be married to the crazy mother in
Right.
theory.
Yes.
You know, but we never see him again. So my presumption is that he's just a male lover for the father. He is unrelated to. He's not married to the aunt.
doctor?
I don't think so. That would be.
We don't know all the relationships, but there's so much
This
good
is
stuff to break
1984,
into.
though. He could have been married to her.
There's so much good
This
stuff.
is why AIDS was invented.
This is why AIDS was invented, because of this. All right, so the movie opens with a boating accident. They're back. Remember when we started talking about this?
We're still
10
at the
minutes
first
ago.
scene of the movie.
There's a water skiing. There's a water
There
skiing
might
couple.
be no more difficult movie in our history to try and unravel.
Well, I think I applaud us for staying away from the ending just for this moment, because I feel like if you are not going to watch this movie, which you definitely should,
Gotta watch it.
I feel like we should walk you into the ending. So there's a water skiing thing going on. The kids are in the water with the dad. The water skiers decapitate the father and the son, I guess.
Well,
Wow.
wait,
No.
a child
child.
and a child and the father are killed.
And leaving one child alive.
Yes,
Right.
And then that's the cold open of the movie, the senseless decapitation via jet ski or water ski.
Wait, do you see a headless body?
No, you actually don't. You just see
Just like
the body float
the
by.
dad's body, and then the child's life preserver.
By the way, this
life vest.
This movie employs one of the best things I've ever seen, which is the reaction shot, the screaming reaction shot. It goes like, cut to someone screaming, cut to a dead body, cut to someone screaming, dead body,
And
screaming, dead body,
every
scream, dead,
time
dead
the
body,
screamer
scream.
is the water skier.
Yeah, it's,
Did you pull that by
yeah.
any chance?
No, because it just is if somebody's screaming.
Well, because here's the thing, her scream. Now it's really the person on the boat's fault. Who, there's a camper who's on the boat. I'm sorry, we're still talking about the first 2 minutes of the movie, but there's a camper on
literally
the boat.
the first
It is.
2 minutes of the
Fine.
movie.
It
But
is so good, though.
But the camper, she wants to take the wheel from the counselor, so she takes control, and she's, for whatever reason, looking back at the water skier.
Both of
looking
them
around.
apparently are.
Yeah,
because the
looking
water
around.
skier is the only person who sees that they're headed towards a boat.
Right, but the water skier's reaction in the water once she realizes horrific death has occurred is like she's done it. I mean, she's taking full
screaming,
responsibility for it.
Somebody help them! Somebody help those people! And then they cut to the two kids in the boat who are arguably responsible.
Yeah.
And they are just stone-faced, like, sitting there like, what happened?
Yeah, we don't know. We just ran over a human being and a boat.
Jumped our boat over their boat.
Not surprised.
There's no way the water skier killed them.
No.
No, of course not.
But
That's
she's
crazy.
the only person
The
who
water
has
skier
empathy
saw
or...
She
Right.
dropped off.
Yeah, the water skier's like, you're going to run into that person.
Yeah.
And they're like, ah, shut up.
They're going, what's she saying? And she's
And that's why
screaming,
they're killed.
there's a boat!
Yeah,
And they're saying, what's she saying?
And then it cuts to the gay lover, and he goes, "Tommy!"
This whole movie is about bad reflexes too.
Yeah.
No one can swim fast enough. No, everyone is. It's like
That's a
Speed
huge
2.
link.
It's not like something is coming at them. Like, oh, I'm gonna stay frozen. The boat is coming. That guy could have survived. He could have swum to the left or the right. All right, so. That's right. We meet the creepy mom. These kids go to sleepaway camp. We get to camp. It's full of pedophiles, angry camp counselors, angry camp counselors.
Oh my God. The first scene of the kids arriving at camp is they're all like running by.
Yeah.
And the guy, the pedophile camp counselor goes, he's like licking his lips and looking at all the young kids. And he goes, where I come from, we call them baldies. Makes your mouth water looking at it.
Wait, I missed this line.
He says we call them baldies because they don't
have no
pubic
hair on their.
They don't have pubic hair yet. He says where I come from, we call them baldies.
Where does he come from? And can I visit?
That guy is instantaneously like, I was like, whoa, this just got crazy rapey.
By the way,
Oh
not
my
even
God.
crazy rapey. Like, that's a weird thing to reveal to a group of people.
Yes.
Like, hey, I'm gonna fuck
I'm gonna
a young kid
Yes.
this summer.
I'm
And
a
then-
child molester, he reveals to like 6 people that are standing there.
And one of the people just goes, that's him.
Yeah.
Like, just laughs it off.
By the way, it just goes to show you cannot trust the kitchen staff, because the same kind of thing in Sucker Punch is the same guy who runs the kitchen likes to rape young girls. That's it. They put him in the
real
kitchen.
theme.
It's a real theme.
I feel like that's my wheelhouse 20 years from now. I'm just going to be doing
Just like
pedo
rapey, creepy adults.
Well, June pointed out a very special celebrity guest star in the kitchen staff.
James Earl Jones's dad.
Robert Earl Jones.
Plays
No.
Ben? He
Yep.
plays Ben?
Yep.
By the way, his name is Ben.
How are you remembering all these names?
Because it's
Yes.
so insane.
He plays the dad.
Robert
And by the
Earl
way,
Jones played.
I noticed
Ben.
his name in the credits, and I thought that's a
Whoa.
coincidence. But then when I heard his voice, he has James Earl Jones's voice and looks a lot like him.
That's crazy.
And more crazy is that he would name his kid the same middle name as him. Like it's not like you have to go Earl Jones. Yeah, but anyway, so that's Robert Earl Jones. So they're gonna rape some kids. That's the first thing that we see. We meet our amazing camp owner who is just smoking a cigar. They smoke in front of these kids nonstop.
Oh,
Yeah.
in the
but that's-
'80s, it was good to smoke.
Yeah, that's I not just smoke, but like talk and be like so lascivious and sexual.
Yes.
You know, and I guess I appreciate that. You know, I guess I appreciate like the forthrightness with which like all the kids swear like a blue streak, like in that way that like
to a way that I haven't heard it on film before.
But that's the thing is like in the 80s, like Bad News Bears or Meatballs or those movies, like kids swore like we as kids swore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
And
right.
that just doesn't exist anymore. Like a movie with kids now, you would never hear a 13-year-old.
Fuck you fucking cocksucker!
You fucking
Yeah, it's like it's so many f bombs, and from little kids. We should also point out, and this is a very important thing, when we meet Angela 8 years later after the accident, she doesn't speak. We haven't heard her
that's
speak.
right.
We also
She's,
have to say Sleepaway Camp happens 8 years after the accident, which we haven't said.
Yes. They don't really let you know how long it has been. So they, they're at camp. People immediately hate Angela because she doesn't speak at all.
And she just sort of blinks.
She doesn't even blink.
She knows she stares vacantly.
Yeah.
She
Vacant
appears
stare.
to be like
Yeah.
a real weirdo.
I feel like they give her mushrooms because she has no, like, pupil
Yeah.
versus,
Yeah.
like, eye color. It's just black.
Well,
Yeah,
you don't know
crazy.
what's wrong with her. Is she catatonic? Does she have no emotions? But then guess what? A couple scenes in, she starts talking up a storm.
Yep.
And
Because a boy
like,
flirts with her.
Yeah, like nothing. Like nothing.
The movie
Interesting.
The movie is also, which I also liked, is like singularly obsessed with kids getting laid.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's just again like that '80s way of like all movies like The Sure Thing and that Tom Cruise movie where they're trying to lose their virginity. No, they're trying the first one.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Like they're all obsessed with getting laid, and Judy got tits and blah blah blah.
Well, Judy's tits
were not
by
that
the way, not that big, and Angela is told a number of times that she's a carpenter's dream because she's flat as a board and needs a screw, and her tits are just as big as Judy's.
Easy.
Well,
Right?
I also like when they tell
not
Rick.
just as big, but not that much.
when
Angela's
taller
rocking
than
an A cup, and Judy's rocking like a full B.
I also
weird?
I also
No,
like.
Am I starting to sound like the pedophile clip?
Not at all, but she's not so flat. She's not so much flatter than Judy, is what I'm saying.
You're right. You're right.
All I'm saying, I also like when the kid runs up to Ricky, he's like, "Hey, Ricky, man, oh man, you got to see Judy. She's got some big tits or whatever."
Yeah.
And Ricky's like, he says to his cousin, he's like, "We went steady." It's almost like he's like, it's so cool. It's
Ricky
cool.
is like the playboy. He's like the badass of the camp.
Yeah, but he is considered one of the little kids. 'cause he
Wait a
hasn't
second,
really
I just realized something crazy. Is this the first year that Angela has lived with Ricky? Because if 8 years have passed, where was Angela?
Why hasn't she been going
Why
to
didn't
camp
she
with
go
him?
to
Yeah.
Oh my god.
All right, well, we'll get again. That makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the Wikipedia, and you're right. Angela is the cousin of Ricky and
There
his
is
mom.
8
I just
years
don't
that have
understand
passed.
because when I saw that mom, I was like, "This mom is crazy because of the accident." But now it is not that. She
that
is
at
just
all.
a crazy person.
Yes.
Although thinking about the mom again, I'm starting to think she actually might have been a man at one point.
Really?
Yeah, well, you
Yes.
thought she was a man.
Whoa!
Because she's
Stop
so
the clock.
masculine.
What are
She's,
you
like,
talking about?
performing her
Do you think it's
femininity.
possible that no, that the mom
The
is the
mom
gay
is
lover?
the gay
But then
lover.
how do you explain Ricky?
Wait a second.
How do you explain Ricky?
No.
Ricky is her son, right?
Yeah, Desiree Gould. It was played by a real actress. Her name is Desiree
No.
Gould.
I know. Well,
Well, I
wait a minute.
Well, we
understand
did.
that,
Oh, okay,
but-
right. All right. Well, all right. Oh, Desiree Gould. All right. So we can get. Let's get into it. I want to hold off on one more second before because
Okay.
I think the end is going to open up all these things.
I mean, Wikipedia does. Okay, yeah.
Well, the first death that happens is one of the cooks, the guy who makes that comment about baldies, attempts to rape Angela.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Very quickly.
instantly.
Very quickly.
He is he's like, oh, you want some food? Why don't you come back into the pantry? And then starts like unbuckling his pants. He's like,
Unbuckling
his pants.
I'll give you something to snack on.
Yeah.
Or whatever he
weird.
says.
It's so upsetting. And then Ricky finds Angela, grabs her, and runs out. And then the cook punches a box of tomatoes.
A huge
Yeah.
box, man.
A huge box of tomatoes. Then Angela comes back later on, or the killer comes back later
Right.
on. And
Spoiler alert.
huge spoiler alert. I'm obsessed with this scene because the cook is salting an enormous pot of boiling water.
First he says,
By the way, they
is
don't
it,
make
is it
pots that
boiling?
big.
It's like a 55-gallon drum of boiling water. He goes, is it boiling? And he goes, oh, it is. Like, so that we understand it's boiling water.
Boiling water.
And
has
he
to
says,
get on
"That a girl?"
stepladder. Yeah.
He does say that a girl.
That a girl.
To the water that is boiling.
Yeah.
Not
Always
to
got to
Angela.
toss the
Not
water
to
on.
Angela.
My favorite part is how angry that guy gets at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
He's out of salt. Fuck this salt.
Well, that's
Like,
it.
it's
Everyone there is on the border of just freaking out.
Yeah.
That makes everybody a suspect.
So he gets
There
on
we
a
go.
step ladder. This is my question.
No, the
a
pot
chair.
is so large.
I'm sorry, a
the
chair,
pot is
you're
so
right.
large, and he must stand on a chair to pour the salt in.
salt it out.
Now, meanwhile, how much salt would you have to put? Like, I know you put a little bit of salt in a pot of boiling water. That's
Well,
like
Paul,
a
I'm
50
so glad you asked because our passion being that how did this get made turns into a cooking show.
We
and
need
the
to
question
figure
we
out-
don't know is what's he preparing the water for?
Well, I would
You know,
assume it was corn.
It's
because he had all that corn
so
on
then
the
you
side.
would put a significant amount of salt in there.
Yeah, it was just so I thought that was interesting. For those of you keeping notes on the cooking part of the show, it was very interesting.
So he's standing on a chair salting this water for days, and
I mean, listen, that's a lot of sodium. These kids. This is at a time when we didn't
Probably
understand
too
the dangers
much.
of salt.
Yeah.
and I also think, by the way, that that's why he has few pounds to lose because he's been oversalting his food. He's been oversalting
He
their
has
food.
really high cholesterol.
Okay, yeah, he's salted. He's putting a lot. He's very heavy on the salt.
Big guy.
So then the killer comes in.
And we see a pair of hands coming up, hands outstretched.
Like first person. Now the camera is first person.
Yes.
Like we are the killer's POV.
Yes,
Which was
killer
crazy.
cam. Killer cam.
The best part of every single death in this movie is the way everyone goes, "Oh, it's you."
That,
Okay,
I actually,
beginning of every
I have that.
It was
It's you.
unbelievable.
Well, but
I
see-
put together a clip. Yeah.
I'm obsessed with how he dies, though, because what happens is he realizes who the killer is. He tells her to.
Well, he tells the. I mean, you're just spoiling who the killer is.
He well basically
I didn't say
you didn't
I
even
didn't say it.
you didn't
By
even
using
say,
a gendered pronoun.
you didn't even like, the biggest thing was
it did.
the kid just keep on moving. The kid pushes his butt, reminiscent of the father who also got his butt pushed in the opening scene.
Ooh.
And then
I'm certain that is not meant to be a thematic reference.
In a body of water.
in a body of water, and then the guy's
Okay, I
just
like
frantically
this.
holding on to his shelf. Now, meanwhile, he's like about a foot off the ground. At any
foot.
point, he could go any which way, but he's holding on like he's holding on to the side of a building. Like,
Yeah.
oh, all right, help me off of this thing. Like, he is in no physical danger
No.
Whatsoever.
at all.
And instead of being like, "Stop it!" he's like, "I'll offer you some. I'll get you an ice cream sandwich." Like trying.
No, when he falls, though, he could fall any which way.
yes,
But lose.
So he falls in such a way that he grabs the 50-pound pot of boiling
Yeah.
water, I guess,
and pours it on
all
himself.
over
Yeah.
himself.
burning him to ridiculous. Again, a yelling scene.
Yeah.
Ah! Ah!
This yelling scene, if you actually go through the math of the yelling scene, and I have it written down, it cuts from him yelling in the same position to him gauzed, same position, still yelling.
Yes.
If you think about how long it would take for someone to call the ambulance, because people
Right.
just stand around
Yeah.
when they see people get
No
hurt.
cell phones
in this
there.
film.
Yeah. Oh,
in this
for a
film,
long time.
Ben walks in and he's just like, "Oh, oh," and he's
Yeah.
just watching this guy scream, boiling his face. If you think about it, if you think about a camp that's removed from a city, how long it would take police officers and an ambulance to get there, that man was sitting there for an hour and a half screaming in the same position.
Well, I would also want to add to that too. Not only did the ambulance
Oh, yeah.
get there, and not only did the ambulance get there, but then a doctor got there, and they did a lot of work in the kitchen, because when you see him being removed from the kitchen, he's still screaming, but is totally gauzed out. Like, that would be something that they would do in the ambulance on the
yeah.
way to the hospital.
Yes.
The doctor's like, you know what? I'm going to set up shop here.
There's
And
a
the-
lot of fly traps
and the
hanging around here.
So weird.
And the
It's so
doctor,
upsetting.
they literally say to the doctor, where his eyeballs burned, and he goes, "It's too soon to tell."
Yeah.
Too soon to tell? You would definitely tell if his eyeballs were
What,
burned.
and is that are they asking? Why do you ask if his eyeballs are burned? Like,
Because he just, like, his main thing
That
is
was
seeing
weird because I guess if
children.
I know, but if it was the chef that was badly burned, I think the first question you'd probably ask is, "Are his hands okay?"
Well, June, they
Not
wanted
when
to-
it's a pedo chef.
Yeah.
When it's a pedo chef,
You
it's
would
like,
ask,
"Are
is his,
eyes
di-
okay?"
is his dick
That's
and balls
okay.
still working because he needs to fuck young kids?
well,
Whereas
their
they-
concern is mainly the guy that runs the camp's concern is like, get him out of here. Don't tell
Yes.
anybody. We still need to make dinner. James Earl Jones' dad. Can you be the cook? And he's like, I guess so.
yeah. That's it.
Um,
Camp goes on as normal.
Yeah, camp goes on as normal. That's the thing that's shocking to me is it's not until like 6 deaths in that the guy that runs the camp seems a little bit like suspicious.
And he's not even suspicious. He's just kind of like, oh, all right, we'll combine the camps and we'll make it smaller, and we gotta keep this camp going.
Because he keeps being like, people aren't going to send their kids to camp if they know about all these deaths.
How much money do you think the camp is bringing in every summer from these
this
kids?
is a great question.
Because it seems
Like,
like
what are the economic finance? This is another great. How did this get made? Pocket. What are the economic finances of the business that is
break
part of
it
the
down.
movie?
When we last left you guys, we were talking about the finances of Camp Arawak. I
just
think
because
they're
the
making
camp owner seems like he's going to lose. I guess if you're a camp owner, I don't know. It just seems like he's going to lose millions if this camp gets shut
By
down.
the way,
he's
think about
so
this.
concerned.
He smokes
well, it's
a
his
cigar,
livelihood.
and
I
only
guess so.
millionaires smoke cigars in
That's
public.
true.
So
He's a millionaire.
He wears black socks up to his knees with shorts.
With shorts.
By the way, we'll find out later on he's also fucking the children of
He's
Yeah.
also asked on a date. She's a counselor.
but that's
to be fair, she's
Counselor.
a counselor.
That's a little less egregious.
It's not Meg. Is it Meg?
yes,
Meg.
it's Meg.
It's Meg, and Meg is into it.
She's like-
he is
Oh,
like
yeah.
a Milton Berle-looking old man.
Yes.
and she is like, I got a date tonight.
Man, I got a hot date.
What?
Ugh.
You are dating
No,
like
she asks him on a date, but he's already asked her on a date.
Yeah, she says,
before this.
remember when
She's
you
following
said,
up.
remember when you said you wanted, how about that dinner you said you wanted? And he's like, whoa, sure,
The
come on
man,
over.
the man was born in 1922. This movie was in 1983. To just give you an idea of how old he was, that's the age difference that we're talking about.
63.
And of course, Meg, the beautiful Meg, was born in. Let's see. Oh, they don't say when she was born.
She's a teenager. She's maybe
She's 16. Yeah, she's 16
Yeah.
years old. And she's psyched about this.
Yeah, and is probably like, to me, Meg is the real bully of the girl. Meg and Judy are the bully.
Yeah.
Judy's a
Judy
very
is the,
dark character.
Judy is a bitch, but Meg is the muscle. Meg is the one that
That's
throws
interesting.
Angela in the
Right.
water.
That's interesting. Judy's more like psychological.
Yeah.
I like
By the
that-
way, just
I
to
like
give you-
that Judy has a shirt that says
Judy.
Yeah.
I love that. I love Judy's hair. I've never
Side-
seen so
side
much
pony?
hair.
Oh, it's just that
Side pony.
Side pony to the
Just
vagina.
FYI, if you have not seen this movie, chances are you have, because it is almost you could see now that Wet Hot American Summer directly
Yeah.
parodied this movie. I mean,
There are even scenes that heavyweights stole from this movie.
it's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's like, I mean, like characters are dressed the same in Wet Hot as they
so
are
good.
at Sleepaway Camp. The side pony, all that sort of stuff. It looks identical too.
fantastic.
I asked Ken Marino last night. I emailed him because there's like a kind of like a weightlifting kind of Jewish guy who's like the voice of reason at the camp. I go, did you base your character on this? He goes, yeah, part that guy and part a guy in Meatballs. So that was the impetus to Ken's character. All right, so the second murder happens in a boating accident. This kid is flirting with a girl, wants her to see the water snake, which would be his dick in the water. Flips over the boat
Now, why
Lots
does he
of boat
flip over
flipping
the boat?
to get her into the water.
so he can show her his water snake.
To get her into the water, mix it up a little.
Like, hey, there's a hard water snake here that needs to crawl onto your
But it
girl
just seems
parts.
difficult, like to float in the water. Like, what was he planning on doing there? I'm serious because their feet weren't touching the ground.
Hey, look, this is '83. People were fucking in all interesting
People
ways.
could do
before the fear of AIDS.
This is
It
right
did
before the
cause
government created AIDS.
AIDS. Right before the government injected AIDS into like the bug juice that they were all drinking at the sleepaway camp. That's how it got out there, bug juice. And but yeah. So now this kid is now trapped. He just decides to hang out underneath the canoe that he flipped.
He's
by
high
himself.
on drugs, by the way. He's high on
Oh,
drugs.
is he high on drugs? I didn't
Yeah,
Yeah,
know
he
that.
and the other
he
kid
smoked-
are high on drug
smoked
smoke.
pot.
Now, by the way,
okay.
though, what did he do to the killer to get her so upset? He was making.
To get the killer so
That's what
upset.
I said.
You said
That's
to
what I
get
said.
her so
He,
upset.
No, I said the killer.
Either way, we don't know. The killer could be male or female at this point.
So
I said the killer.
to get him
He said, what
so
did he do to the
upset-
killer to get her so upset?
Please go see this movie. Do not wait for our amazing reveal
I
of this.
can't do this. I can't do it.
We gotta just get to the ending because it's going to be so good.
It's so good. So he's now high on drugs, singing a song in the boat. Now
He's alone.
He's alone. Now I played this. I put two clips back to back because it is what happens when everybody sees the killer. So these are two clips of people seeing the killer. Here
Oh
we
my
go.
god.
Judy's a real sad character. I think what Judy admires, like Judy and Angela have an interesting relationship because I think in so many ways Judy would like to be more like Angela.
Why do you say that?
Because Angela's
That
innocence.
because- yeah.
That's it.
I think Judy sees
Yeah.
a little bit of her old self in Angela and has become
Last
something
summer
else.
self.
Last
summer self.
Last summer self. Now that
She
she's got
sprouted
tits,
those tits.
boys are looking to get busy, and she is down. She's fucking down to fuck.
Well, by the way,
Crazy because that scene where that guy rejects her a little bit. I mean, not even that much. She goes nuts.
Yeah.
But I also feel like everyone in this movie, though, like they hate Angela because she's a mute some of the time. By the way, she's a mute some of the time. Some of the times she's a totally well-adjusted girl. It goes back and forth.
I don't know if I would say well-adjusted. She just talks.
She talks, but in a way that's like kind of, she doesn't, it's not like the mom. It's not overly creepy. It's like a girl. It's normal.
Oh, boy.
I have a really important question for when we get to the ending.
And so, all right. So basically, but all the kids like will grab her and go, "How come you're so fucked up?" Like, "God damn it, answer me!" And they shake her. They're always like shaking her.
Because she doesn't talk, it throws people into rages.
Well, they project all of their own fears and insecurities onto her.
Well, when that kid was killed in the boat, even the camp counselor in the morning is like, "Oh, God damn it! Look at all these chairs!" And he's like throwing chairs around, and then he just uncovers a dead body that's so decomposed in less than 5 hours.
Yeah, from late night until early morning, the body is mangled.
Well,
right?
But that's not decomposition.
It's not decomposition, but
water snakes.
It's water snakes.
A water snake does climb out of his mouth.
Oh my
Water
God,
snakes.
that was hilarious.
What, you think the water snakes ate him?
I thought he was beat to death or something.
No, that was just his body being drowned.
Oh no, it's the snapping turtles.
Oh yeah, he did.
This is snapping turtles.
This movie is so stupid.
There are literally maybe like 8 times I said to I keep thinking in my head, this is the part of the movie where nothing makes sense. It's just like the entire film.
It makes okay. Well, by the way, so the kid's dead. Then there's the police come to kind of inform him that there could have been an accident. This is the accident debate here. Listen.
As far as I can tell, the boy drowned. Of course, we'll have to wait for the medical examiner to check him over before we can be certain.
Of course he drowned. He was horsing around, a canoe tipped over, he must have hit his head.
I don't think so. Weren't any bumps or bruises when I checked. Though, again, I'm no expert on this matter.
It was obviously an accident. I mean, the boy might have got scared and panicked, right?
That could be a logical explanation.
So it was one of those fluke accidents we could not have foreseen, and that is all there is to it.
I don't know.
It was an accident.
So that is the camp counselor, or the head of the camp, just trying to justify.
He's smoking a cigar during that scene.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm not technically. Man, that guy is the best. That security guard.
Can we move ahead to Meg's death?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so Meg.
This is the most improbable death.
This is the craziest death.
Yeah.
Meg is getting ready for a hot date with old fuck action camp counselor there.
Meg and Mel.
Megan Mel.
Hearts Forever.
16 and 60.
16 and 60.
That's a new MTV show.
So she's taking a shower.
She's surrounded by like handsome men her own age.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and even handsome men closer to her age. Than Mel.
So Mel's got all that power, all those millions of dollars from Camp Arawak.
So she takes a shower in a different bunk because all the girls are using up the shower into hers. And she's, by the way, singing the craziest song in that shower.
But not even singing.
No.
Humming the entire time.
But she's like, he hum, 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 hum. He hum, hum, hum.
It's just like
crazy.
the fucking
it's
weirdest.
maddening, with a huge smile on her face. Then all of a sudden she leans back on the shower, so her back is against the wall, and the killer, he or she, stabs through the wall and stabs her from her neck down to her ass.
Yeah.
In half, pretty much.
Yeah. Now, at no point in feeling the knife go into her back does Meg step forward.
Nope.
In order to avoid the knife destroying her.
Nope.
Yeah.
She stays firmly with her back against the wall.
Feet planted
So that the knife can continue to wreak havoc with her back area.
It's almost like someone's scratching it and she likes it and she's like, "Oh yeah, get it." Yeah. She really edges that knife into her. Oh man. And so she dies and presumably stays in such a precarious position that her body, until Mel comes to find her much later in the movie, Mel walks into a room. She's been dead now for arguably a couple hours, right? A couple hours. But the minute he walks into the room, she falls into frame. Yeah. So she was hanging so precariously that he didn't even move a curtain. He doesn't do anything. She just kind of enters the scene. They could have made that scene so much easier if he just moved the shower curtain and she fell out. Nope. She just falls to the ground.
So weird. So do you think the knife was holding onto her back and in the wall at the same time? So
no,
she was
because
just,
remember she takes the knife out and cleans it.
Yeah, so she was just standing up, a dead person standing up.
Against the wall.
It's
the wind shifted.
Absolute nonsense.
All right.
honestly, that speech he gives, which had to have been improv.
Oh,
when he
it's
sees Meg
totally
die,
improvised.
is unbelievable.
I do have that as well. I'll play it.
God,
It's
so
a little
good.
hard to hear because the music is so overpowering, but it's worth trying to hear. Here you go.
Oh my God! How you mad? He did it. I had him. I let him go. Please. I'll stop him. Gotta stop him. Won't get away, Raggy. He'll never get away from me again.
And as he's talking with his like finger at his like almost like a stereotype of an Italian man, like, "Hey, I'm gonna make him a cup of cool, you're never gonna forget." And it's like he's like presenting this information like this. Oh my God!
I love that all of the times where he wasn't talking, it would cut back to the back of a body.
Yes.
And it wasn't like, it was like, oh, something else has happened to this body. It's the same shot.
Nope.
Same.
So fucking
and no
weird.
blood at all. No blood out of there. I guess the blood was drained out. Oh my God. By the way, I want to just talk about one line that was pretty great. "Hey man, eat shit and die, Ricky. Hey, eat shit and live, Bill." That was one of the classic.
And all the other kids were like, "Ooh."
That was a great comeback. So a bunch of other camp counselors die. Kids die. But let's
The
get
guy
to...
gets killed with the bees.
Yes.
Oh,
Who's
wicked
who's
dump.
This is amazing. The amazing. That's it. You have it written down, so read it because I don't have it written down.
It's. I'll be right there, guys. But first, I gotta take a wicked dump.
That's a line in this movie that an actor memorized and then said, and takes a magazine into the bathroom where the killer, the genderless killer, reaches in and puts a beehive
By the way,
in the toilet with him.
Another slow ass reaction. First, knifes out the screen on the window.
Yep.
Takes a while, and the guy doesn't. We never see the guy in the stall. We only see his feet. He's like, "Hey, who the hell is that?" Continues to take his wicked shit. Does not look around, and then
Let's take a wicked shit.
and then someone like puts a beehive on a stick and puts it in there, and then
It looked like an old timey hobo stick.
It's
Yeah.
a bindle.
It does.
It definitely looks like a bindle.
My only problem with that scene was they put a very thin broomstick to stop
Yes.
him from getting out.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like we start on a pretty large gap between the floor and the top of
Crawled
the
out.
door.
Crawled out.
Just get out of there.
Yeah.
And
One or the
that
other.
beehive, like at the end when you see all of the bees on his on his dead body, that beehive contained
No.
thousands and thousands of
thousands.
bees.
His body looked so eaten alive. It was as if you locked him in a beehive.
Yeah.
In an actual beehive for days. Like, but this is like 2 minutes later. He is.
Oh my God.
The same thing with the boiling water. It like his body was like boiled
Holy
alive.
shit.
And that was after the amazing water balloon scene, which our main character
that's
Angela
pretty.
gets a water balloon and goes down like she was like John F. Kennedy shot, like you motherfucker! It's like, and these kids
Yeah.
are playing with water balloons on the roof of a cabin,
Yeah.
like just all on a roof, all fighting on a roof.
It's like that scene in never mind. It's a terrible scene, and I can't even think of a scene that it's like because it's so fucking weird. Ricky's outbursts, like
Oh yeah.
I can't imagine where the headspace he had to go to.
Well, that's why I think in your mind you're supposed to think like, is it Ricky?
It could
Is
be
it
Ricky.
Angela? We don't know who the killer is.
Yeah.
because Ricky
he is so
aggressive.
volatile
so angry.
and so overprotective. And even Mel is like, why are you? Even Mel suspects him at a certain point. He's like, why are you always protecting her? Why is you? You did it. I saw you by the thing or whatever. And like Mel is like accusing Ricky of doing it. The thing I wanted to talk about was at a certain point, Angela gets a little boyfriend, Paul.
Yes.
Paul starts to like Angela, and they're holding hands after movie night, and then he kisses her.
Oh, this is the
He
best
kisses
scene.
her behind the bunk. She's like, where are we going? And he's like, oh, I just want to show you something. And then they go behind the bunk, and he like plants like the meekest little kiss on her, and she reacts like he has just raped her.
Oh,
And she's
yeah.
like, I have to go inside. I have to go inside now.
I mean,
What?
Well, okay,
now don't you? I mean,
but this is the part where she has a flashback,
But she does
right?
like him.
But this
she
is the-
does like
that's
him.
what I want to get to.
But
Okay,
this is the.
okay.
that's
this
what
is-
I want to get to.
But this is the flashback, right, where she.
Literally, it says smash cut to gay sex.
Yes, cutting to these two men, and like I don't know if you
This
guys,
is where you find out that the man on the shore was
Right.
the gay lover. We
Right.
didn't know this. We should have said that at the beginning.
didn't know that at the beginning.
I didn't think he was that the two men were gay lovers in the cold open.
No way.
In this scene, which
No
appears to
reason
take
to.
place in a black box.
It's like that episode of Family Ties where
Exactly,
where,
that's what I was gonna
say.
where Alex's friend dies and he has to go to therapy. It's like a community
It's
theater
like a
thing.
Brechtian production of something where it's a black box and the two little kids, now they're back to being little kids, are looking at the dad and the man like bone zoning.
Yeah,
Yep.
just doing it. But they also are bone zoning like a heterosexual couple. Like they're not.
Yeah,
like,
well, gay dudes do that.
Yeah, sure, but I'm saying it was very
tender.
It was tender.
They were touching each other's faces in a tender way.
Yeah, they weren't
And then the
ramming.
two little kids, they weren't ramming. And then it
Why
cuts.
is it heterosexual to be tender?
No, I wasn't saying I'm just saying like he was saying they were in the bone zone. It wasn't like they caught him like going into one guy from behind. It was a
Right,
little bit more
right.
tender. Of a
Yeah.
scene.
And then that dissolves to the two kids, the little boy and the little girl in bed, like touching each other like the men were touching each other.
but not even
Wait,
trying.
what?
It was just
don't they
his-
touch each other's faces?
No,
or
it's
something?
like E.T.
It's like ET.
Oh, he's poking her tit.
He's like his finger is just going slowly at her, but it never touches her, and it's super creepy. And the camera's like rotating around their bed. It's like, what the fuck am I watching?
Well, but that wasn't. I don't think we were supposed to take
She-
away that they were.
She was
molesting
slowly molested by her
No,
brother.
that
I
was
said.
definitely incest.
It's definitely incest.
Total incest.
Total incest.
It's like an underlining theme in the entire
You guys,
film.
that's not true.
Yes, it was. That's why they showed that
What?
scene.
No.
Why
the
do you-
reason why they showed that scene was that we see the boy pointing to her, which is why we're thinking she's the killer. Angela's the killer because he's pointing at her.
No.
What are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about?
There are three people who are going no, and one person is going yes.
That was not an incest scene.
It was an
was
incest
so-
scene.
So incestual.
It was.
It was total incest. He's poking her tit. He's like basically
It's
his
creepy.
That's
it
incest?
keeps dissolving. It keeps dissolving to his
Are you
finger
having
getting
flashbacks?
closer and closer and closer to her. It's like that is like something
He's
sexy.
pointing at her like you.
No, he's like getting
No.
closer and closer. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna touch this.
I'm gonna touch your
I'm
tit.
gonna do this.
It was so creepy. It was like they just saw sex and now they were gonna mimic
That's
it.
exactly what it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So
Get that at all.
now we're getting to. Let's get to.
Okay.
Let's get to the meat of this fucking movie.
Literally.
So the whole movie is pretty much predicated on an amazing 5-minute ending sequence. So Angela decides that after she's been like upset with this boy, she's gonna finally take him to the bone zone.
Yeah.
And we cut to a flashback. Anyone can take who wants to describe this scene. We cut to a flashback of the creepy mom that we established in the beginning. Also, go ahead. Or do you want to go before?
Well, that's fine. That's fine. Well, what happens is a bunch of people are killed.
Yes.
And then all the people are running around chaos, and they run down and they find Angela and Paul naked on the beach. Okay.
And it looks very tender.
Yes, Angela is humming and cradling Paul. Right.
Looks
and they come across her, and her back is to the people, and she's naked. Then you dissolve into this flashback,
and it's Aunt Martha. And Aunt Martha, again on a Brechtian set, starts doing this thing. We see it's like right after the accident.
Child's come to visit
the surviving child has
child.
like a
bandage.
head cast on or something.
Yeah, that's the funniest part. Is like that doesn't exist in any world.
No.
I have the dialogue here that I can read. So it cuts into this. Oh, you're going to enjoy living with us so much. Yes, I know you are. As a welcome home present, I bought you such a wonderful new clothes. I hope that Richard doesn't get jealous that I didn't get him anything. Oh, but then he's such a dear. I'm sure he won't mind. You see, I've always wanted a little girl. But of course, when my husband left, oh well, that's all water under the bridge. As I always say, water under the bridge. But it certainly will be a nice surprise when Richard comes home to find a little girl in his house. Yes, I've always dreamt of a little girl just like you. That's the monologue. We find out that Angela is actually the son.
The little boy
The little
survived.
boy survived, not the girl.
And the mother raises the little boy, whose name was Peter,
Yes.
as Angela, who she says because it's from the angels.
Yes.
And then you cut back to camp, present day camp. Angela gets up, Paul's head, decapitated head, rolls off of her lap. She's holding a knife, screams this crazy blood curdling scream, turns around to face everybody, and has a tiny dick. And that
little
shit
boy dick.
is bonkers.
That's how the movie ends. Angela is the brother. Holy shit, it's crazy.
That monologue, though, actually, when you read it,
explains a lot of
answers a
things.
lot
Yeah.
of my outstanding
Because-
questions.
Okay,
Yeah.
so from that monologue, we're to understand that the man on the beach was her husband. who left her.
No.
Left.
Yes,
He
thank
left.
you, Zach.
Left.
Yes, but
Left
was
her.
her husband,
Left her,
but
yeah.
left her.
Left her for the guy.
So
Yeah,
the
right.
By the way,
The guy on the beach was married to Martha, you're saying?
Yeah, I
Yes.
think so.
Oh, okay.
So wait a
Because
second.
the
So
doc,
you're
saying the doc is coming is
Right.
like, he's not going to be like, my wife is coming. It's
Got
like,
it.
ugh,
The doc is coming.
Fucking, what's her
the
name? is
doc.
Well, wait a minute, because I really want to understand this. So you're telling me that Aunt Martha,
Yeah.
and dude on the beach,
Yeah.
were married.
Let's just call him
And,
Gary.
and Gary.
Gary.
Aunt Martha and Gary were married, okay? And then dad of Peter and Angela, dad of two little kids,
Yeah.
Angela being the boy, Peter, Peter / Angela, and little
Peter.
boy.
Little girl.
Oh,
Little girl.
Little girl, sorry, little
All
girl,
right, yeah.
sorry. Little
Guy
girl.
on boat.
Guy on boat with kids. So he was presumably married to somebody, right?
Yes.
Yes.
They are gay lovers.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Are they? But
I don't
but
think
the
no.
kids,
I don't
Baby
think they're
brothers,
really
the
too.
kids
I
are.
think
Baby
But she
brothers.
is their aunt. She is their
Wait
aunt.
a second, I figured it out. The guy on the boat with the two kids and the guy on land, Gary, they are related.
That's what
And
I
it was
said.
incest. Yeah, so
That's
it's
what I said,
so
they're
it's
brothers.
incest. So that's why she gets custody, because she is the aunt of that little girl boy.
I think she is I think it is incest in the sense that it's like through law.
That's I think that I'm with that. Yes.
So
through law.
maybe,
That's not incest,
so maybe the Martha and
family,
the kids. So maybe Martha and the kids' mothers were sisters.
Right.
And these two men married these two sisters, but decided to bone zone each other. But they were not related except by marriage.
Because that's how the kids caught them. The two little kids were like at a summer house when they had some sort of family thing, and that's when they saw the men having sex in
Yeah.
the bed.
We're to understand then that when the doc is arriving at the summer home, she also has Ricky in tow, which they never mention.
Yeah, they never mention Ricky.
By the way, I do think that we were wrong on one thing. This did not take place, the boating accident did not take place in front of the camp, even though it would lead you to believe because the camera pans off the
course
camp.
it
It did. It totally did.
It did?
It has
100%.
All right.
Or
That's
a
why-
camp.
I
that's
thought
why-
Those kids came
What,
from
that-
a camp.
By
Yeah,
the
I mean,
way-
like,
I thought
he
they were
even
just in the
goes
boat.
like,
Okay.
he was like, I don't want to lose my job, but okay.
All right, maybe you're right. Okay. So this
Gotta
is-
be.
all right.
Gotta
mean,
be. And that's why
I-
she starts to go crazy when she's back at the camp.
Back
and
at the
she's so
camp, the
close.
water, it's just terrible.
It's too much. It's too much for her.
All right. So,
So we're also to understand, though, that Angela / Peter is a gay boy? Is that also at work?
no, she's not gay.
But she likes Paul.
Oh, she is gay.
Well, Paul does.
She's been raised as a girl, though, so she must be deeply conflicted. Which is why, like, she's been raised as a girl, so probably has a crush on Paul because of
because he's just a guy.
he's a guy paying attention to her. But I'm sure feels that's why the kiss is so she reacts to the kiss so weird.
And that's also why she won't get in the shower.
That's also why she won't get in the shower.
Right. I think she's just an asexual murderer.
See, Wikipedia just
But
says
that's interesting.
Wikipedia says the man on the shore is just his lover. It
Okay.
does. That's all it says about that
But
man
it
on the
says
shore.
the doc is coming.
Yeah, the doctor's cup.
Well, why would the doctor be coming to the beach?
It's just.
Because the doctor is the aunt of the kids.
So just unrelated, the doctor.
Unrelated, the doctor's coming? Unrelated, he's like, you have to get out of the water. The doctor is
Maybe
coming.
it's your sister's coming. He could have said your sister's
No,
coming.
he said the doc.
No, I know, but he could have said
Your sister's coming.
your sister's, like somebody's coming, hurry up, get to shore, we have to cover up all our gay stuff.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know.
Did you guys notice that cop at the end had the worst
Fake mustache?
Oh,
Yeah,
the worst
the
fake
Worst
mustache.
fake mustache I've ever
I
seen.
mean, like
Here's
that
another
was
question,
bought at
though.
a prop.
Like it was worse than Eric Bana's beard and Hannah.
Well, again, if you go on the idea that this is a real camp that made a movie over a summer, it was not that bad. I do want to talk about the spirit finger death. Every time people get killed in this movie, their hands kind of go up like ah, and like they're in spirit fingers, like ah, like they just go really wide and back and forth because they only show it through shadows.
Do you think though that we're to understand that Ricky does Ricky know that Angela's a dude?
That is a terrific question.
No way. No way.
Well, because the mother does say he'll be
I-
so happy to have a little sister.
yeah.
So the presumption being
But the mom said,
the
"Oh,
mom
guess
is
what?
going to tell him it's a little girl. I
yeah,
don't know.
only the
Then
boys."
why is he?
have
Is that why he's so protective? He's like, it's my sister, it's my girl sister.
I do want to just
Right.
clarify one thing here.
There's so much.
Do you know who was supposed to originally play the part of Angela? Jane Krakowski.
No way.
Yes,
Where did
she-
you see that?
On IMDb. Apparently, she dropped out at the end.
That's fucking crazy.
And the movie was indeed dedicated to the director's mother. Those are two things. Just answering those questions, just so we know. A real doer.
Can you imagine if that movie was dedicated to you by your child?
I'd be like,
I've
what
done
did I
something-
do?
I have not done. I have not done.
I will say this: people should 100% watch this movie. It's on YouTube
much
in its
fun.
entirety.
In its entirety, it's
love this
amazing.
And
movie.
even if you're not going to watch the movie, watch the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, you have to. I think the payoff only works with the full.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I will tell you also, a new film, Return to Sleepaway Camp, was completed in 2003 and initially struggled to find distribution. It was directed by the same guy of the original. He decided this chapter would ignore the storylines of the previous sequels, stating he wanted to pick up where the original film ended. According to Fangoria, the digital effects were redone in 2008, and the film finally found distribution and was released in 2008. And basically, it is, if you want to follow the stories,
Okay.
it's called Return to Sleepaway Camp.
I just would like to add something to this. Okay, that movie, you're correct, is a sequel that the director made. But
Yes.
in the 80s, another director made two sequels called Sleepaway Camp 2, Unhappy Campers, and Sleepaway Camp 3, Teenage Wasteland. In them, Angela, now played by Bruce Springsteen's younger sister, Pamela Springsteen,
Oh my God.
resurfaces at a nearby sleepaway camp, but this time masquerading as a counselor after a sex change that made her entirely female. Then there's another sequel called Sleepaway Camp 4, The Survivor, directed by a whole different person, which was partially filmed and never released. This is all Wikipedia.
Obviously,
Oh my God.
we had an opinion about this movie, but it is now time for a second opinion. These are 5-star reviews culled from Amazon. I can't even decide which ones to read here because they're so good. Ben Conrad writes, plot, characterization, screenwriting, or acting might be the conventional criteria that most film buffs use for grading a movie's greatness. I used to believe that too, until I saw Sleepaway Camp. After that, I drew a new template for my own evaluation.
Amazing.
Based solely on sheer audacity. This movie is poorly written, poorly acted, and it ends if someone just slammed the brakes on a tractor trailer that was leisurely cruising at 200 miles an hour. This movie stops, and you're never the same again. 5 stars.
That's true.
This is my favorite one. From Christina Rusta. Oh, actually, they're not my favorite one. Second favorite one. I gotta say, when I first
Thank you
watched
for
this,
clarifying.
Sorry.
I need to know the hierarchy
Second
of
favorite, not as good as my final favorite. I gotta say, when I first watched this movie, I was around 4 years old, and I had nightmares
Oh, Jesus
for a
Christ.
week over the last shot. Now, when I watch it,
By
being
the way,
24,
nobody remembers their nightmares from 4 years old. That's
maybe if you saw a dick
I guess
out there
so.
like that and a headless kid. Now, when I watch it being 24 as of 2009, I think it's pretty good, and it's a really good past the time kind of movie. What does that mean?
does that
Past
mean?
the time. My brother owns this movie, and we watch it when we order pizza.
Well, for a brother and sister to watch this movie over pizza is really weird.
Something
Then we
you'll-
touch each other's junk.
Not when the
I just
pizza
slowly
arrives, just
point.
when they order it.
Just when they order it. Something you'll want to have said. I watched Sleepaway Camp. Great movie. 5 stars.
That's something you will. Oh,
That
you
is
know
the
what's something
weirdest.
I want to say? I've watched Sleepaway Camp. I just haven't been able to say it yet. ...
Great movie. I watched Sleepaway Camp. ... Great. That's part of the whole quote.
Wow.
That's not like I
Yeah,
watched
yeah, yeah.
Sleepaway. So it's like you wanted to have said this.
Amazing.
This is written by. It's just titled "A Kid's Review." Honestly, I don't know what people are thinking when they call this movie bad or dumb. The people who call horror movies funny, that's a sure way to tell that they're bluffing. Don't listen to those people, okay? This is a wonderful slasher flick. I will not give a detailed synopsis, for I do not want to ruin it to you. I will tell you that you are in for quite a scare. The killings are nothing short of spectacular. The characters are somewhat likable. The ending is so scary that when I first watched it, I let out some strange noise. Not quite a scream, maybe a moan of terror, and I ran out of the room. My mother said I looked like I saw a ghost, and I told her I had seen something worse. Watch this movie with a dog. Or if you think...
Wait, what?
Yep. Or if you think you can handle it... I barely can now. I just love that scared feeling. That's why I like well-made horror films. Watch it alone.
With a dog?
Be warned, you will be scared. I guarantee it. If you are not scared, then I am nothing but a wimp. This will invoke fear in you, be it slight, which I highly doubt. There are some tough-hearted people out there, like war veterans, LOL.
What?
Wait. No, that was a joke. That was a joke.
I still watch this
Just
movie,
kidding.
and it scares me. By the way, I'm not a kid. I just forgot my password. I'm 17, and I live in Brooklyn, New York. So you know it's not some 8-year-old in the middle of nowhere who gets spooked by the Halloween episodes of South Park. Have fun being scared.
Wow.
Holy cow.
That is one of
That
my
was
favorite.
as well written as the script of Sleepaway Camp.
Someone also just said this is better than anything that Kubrick has done.
Oh my god, that's great.
Ability for it.
Somebody help them! Somebody help